They're like late. Where is the wheel? Do we need to enable the wheel? Oh, I think that's it. I think I can close the image, yeah. So, here is our wheel as it is. Get this one up because that's the one with the stuff we need on. Music as well. Because I don't plan stuff very well. But anyway, here we are. With the body type we have to select for the wheel's decisions. Hopefully it'll give me fuel injection and not front leaf springs. But I guess we'll never know. Until it decides. Okay. It chose high performance sport before. That was what it did with the, what was it, Car RS Fog Edition, which was like that 4x4 off-roader thingy on a lightweight sports car platform. So I think, I would say coupe, but there may be other ones into it. So we also need to decide the size before I go any further. So we've got that. Got a large. Ooh, this is interesting. It was small before, so we're going to get large here. So much is still about to change. I would say coupe, but I don't know. We're looking at just general high performance vehicles. So that's still mid-size. We need something massive. This, for the time being, this is gargantuan. So we'll give it a try. I mean, I say anything above 3.0 is fine. But this will be, I think, fit for purpose just for the time being. Although it's probably not what I will finally settle on. Engine positioning. Do we have front, mid? I want something that supports mid and rear engines. This one, it looks like it supports mid. But does it support rear? I think it'll probably be under coupe. So I'll sort to coupe. So what large ones have we got? This supports rear engine and it goes up to 3 meters. This will be a decent enough starting point. I think it should also support mid if it supports rear. In some variant. So this will be like our test body. And then we can later change it if we need to go with something else. It's not the largest car here. I would want something larger because it did specify a large body. But it'll do for now. So we need our numbers on the wheel. We're going to add, I think there's 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. Let's see what it gives us. Number 5. Okay, that's pretty good. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Partial aluminium. I'll take it. A large partial aluminium car. So far, it's going kind of Grand Tourer. I think that means partially steel, but I'll take it. There's worse materials out there that we could use. So we'll only want 6 numbers for this next one because there's only 6 variants. And we have got 5, is it? Okay. Semi-space. It's liking this. It always seems to choose semi-space frame. Almost without fail. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How it chooses this every single time, I'm not sure. I don't really have a right to complain about it, as it's a good technology. But what's going on exactly, I can't understand. I can't hope to understand that. We've got engine placement. We did get different engine placements, kind of. We've had it in the front, but facing we've had it in the front facing backwards. The front transverse, sorry. My head is not working. And we've had mid-transverse. Will we get anything that's not transverse? So I believe we've got 5 options here. Let's see which one of them it is. Ooh. Rear longitudinal. That's interesting. So are we building some kind of Porsche? I really don't know. We'll have to see. But this is definitely interesting. I think we can get rear or all-wheel drive now, so this should be interesting nonetheless, because it has said mid-engine before, but not rear-engined. So this should be an interesting twist of things. We can go with leaf front springs though. It can still mess us up. Let us see. Let us hope. Oh, it was almost solid axle coil, but we got 5. So we've got push rod again. It's somewhat like that first car we built, which turned out to be more of a retro rally car. And we've got hopefully something good on the back. It went with double wishbone on that car. So we've got 3 options here. The others are greyed out. I think because it's rear engine, though, I don't think that's a body flaw. So let's see what we are given. And I mean, this is why I chose a body which supports rear engine, because you never know what it's going to ask for. This seems all a little too familiar, I'll be honest. That other car, well, it was fiberglass body, but it had a semi-space frame as a chassis. It was mid-engine, not rear engine, but kind of close. And it had push-rod front, double wishbone rear. Why does it seem to like that setting? I mean, it's supposed to be a random wheel. It's not supposed to be this kind of planned out, for lack of a better word. But I guess that's what we got for now. I'll try and show without the wheel for a moment. That's what we got. That's what we're working with. I do believe I can change the body up a little. I think this will support all-wheel drive, so I think they all will, to be quite honest, regardless of what the body actually is. So I think with this in mind, with the whole chassis and suspension layout built, we can see what supports it. So we don't need front or mid-engine, we just need rear-engined platforms, which are quite large. I'll go with about the largest I can. That one goes quite large. That goes to 2.96. 3.54. Is that high performance? I don't know. But it's massive. Maybe that's even a little too long. I think I can get large without going to that extreme. We've got this one. That's rear-engined. And it goes to 3.21. There is a great number of chassis. I like that one. That looks suitably high performance. And it goes over 3.0 for size. As I say, I'm going to use over 3.0 as like the benchmark. So that's going to be where we call it large. I can go to the smaller side of large. I'm feeling the retro kind of vibe here, though. Like, I wouldn't mind going for an older body that is still massive. It's complaining about the bit weight, that's for sure. This is... Yeah, a lot of them are quite small, especially as we go back in time. Got a Mustang. I wouldn't say that's really high performance, though, in the same way. We're looking for more supercars. Yeah, there's just not a lot of the older style bodies which are that big. So we're going to have to go with something more modern. How's that? That didn't go as big as I thought. Again, there's things like the Beetle, which supports rear engine. I think, personally, there was one we had somewhere, and it went to just over 3. Was this 3.21? You know what? This is probably the best. This is definitely large. I'm going to try this one, because it seems like the kind of massive vehicle that could work. Especially look at this rear overhang. That's what you want for a rear-engined car. We want a lot of rear overhang. I mean, I don't know how it's going to play into it, though, because I've used this same kind of suspension setup before, but it's been in a mid-engined car. It's not been in a rear-engined car. So we've got 3 bodies. Yeah, there's a wagon. I don't know. I'd still call this kind of high performance. But I think we could go a bit more supercar-y, because it's not like the lowest thing on the road. That's where things start getting awkward, I guess. Like, where do you draw the line? I think we can go lower, something like that, but it's not over 3.0, and that would be my point for large. I think this definitely looks a bit more supercar-y and a bit lower, so this is probably the best I can do, honestly. The older vehicles are just not going to be as small, so I think I have to go with a different body, and that's not even allowing rear engine, which is not good. Like, what am I supposed to do for actually finding the correct size of body? This one looks tiny, and I think it is, but there are larger versions of it. I don't know what to say about this one. Again, it doesn't look quite low, as I would like it to. Like, this is more tricky than I thought, just getting the right size body. Okay, I found a supercar. It's right on the edge. It's 3.00 meters, but as I say, 3 meters plus and a very high performance supercar, and it supports rear engined. I don't think I'm going to do a whole lot better than this. Yeah, very, very low, as I say. I don't know what it's based off of, though, and I don't know how it will take for a rear engine. I may have to change it. It looks like there's a lot of space in the middle, and not so much at the rear. Let's see. Let's see how it does, because I do think it's one of the best. I'll spin for this later if it actually fits the body, because I don't know, and I'm not going to, like, dive into it. I'm just going to choose the first one for now, and then I can spin later if it works out with the rear engine powertrain. I didn't think rear engined in this kind of setup would be such a pain to build. Now, I don't know, like, I'm slightly concerned about how the rear engine layout is actually going to get working. So we've got various powertrains here. So we've not got front wheel drive. I'll go with 1 and 2. They're going to be our options for the wheel is up, yeah. 1 and 2 are going to be our options for engine and stuff. Then we're going to go, yeah, it's selected all-wheel drive. Then we'll go from there. So because so many of these all-wheel drive, I have to give it some sense of fairness. We have done a front-wheel drive car before, so it has been a bit flexible on that. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's 5 different options. So let's see what it gives us. Number 3, which is, I think, helical all-wheel drive. I don't know what the exact details of that are, but it is an all-wheel drive, not a 4x4 system like we had before. Differences are starting to appear. It is rear engine, so we're going to want a new engine. Doesn't really matter what it's called. And we're going to have to let it configure this. Now, this is where it's all going to come down to, whether this body works or not. And because of a short rear overhang, I'm inclined to think it won't, but I need a high-performance body as per the rules. I can't go with something like super tall off the ground. It has to be a high-performance unit of a unit kind of shape, if that's the term. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 options. Let's see what the wheel gives us. Oh, we've got a boxer. Thank you. Thank you, wheel. You've actually given me an engine that'll probably work in the rear engine configuration. Like, I know Porsches use Boxer 6. Was it Porsche? They use Boxer 6s. And the Beetles, the older Beetles, have used Boxer 4 cylinders. So, you know, it's far from the most unusual terms for a rear engine vehicle. Now we've got 4 or 6. So we'll go 4 or 6. I could enter 1 or 2, but I can just enter the exact cylinders. Make it a little easier on myself. And we've got 6. Okay, so far this is so logical. I don't hate it. Engine fitment, it's not saying yet. 4 and 6. So, as I say, I don't know how this is going to act. I'll have to look at what kind of engine sizing we've got. See if this works. So we've got 7 options here. So we've got 7. And number 4. Okay, so I think that's pretty decent. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Owlsy heavy. So it's more heavy duty technology, but we've got a lighter material at the very least. I think we can take that. I think the header is really where it affects it, having the lightweight or performance or just heavy duty. I think that's really the header that affects it most of all. Might be a bit more weight in this block, and why is it lagging so much? I mean, I shouldn't complain too much because it said Radeon 7000 series kind of crash the game. And my 7000 series is not crashing the game. Things could be a lot worse. My Radeon 7000 series is unrealistically stable, given it came up with that as like the first thing when you start the game. And we have got, oh yes, before it gave me direct overhead cam on the last week, and that did not make power, so we've got actually a good setup here, even with half the cylinders of that other car. So far, it is making good decisions. Like, it's made it rear engine, but it actually chose a layout that works on a rear engine layout. I mean, we couldn't hope for anything better than this, to be honest, for a rear-engined high-performance sports car or supercar. Now, so we've got... I'll just do 1, 2, 3. It's a bit easier than having to enter the exact figures for the valve train and head design. So selected 1, which is 2. I'll take it. 2 valves per cylinder is not brilliant. I think we can still get power because it's twin cam. So there will be some power in this. And it's also better for sizing, as I say. So the decision isn't entirely illogical. We do need to adjust the size as well. So I'll choose the head material. And then we'll go to size from there. And then I'll show like what we've got as an engine visually by removing the wheel. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. Number 5. I think that's decent. Let's see what it is. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Aluminium standard. Look, it's not the performance header, but it's pretty lightweight, and it's not the weird thing it had last time where it was cast iron on the top and then like Aussie on the bottom. I mean, it could be worse. It could be a lot worse than what we've got specified here. So what else have got? The size. Now we'll have to see. I think this might actually fit a bigger engine than I'm thinking. So that's 12 litres. I don't think we'll have a need to go that big. So we can go to 5 litres quite easily. I will check another body because it looks like this tops out around about 5 litres, maybe 5.5 if I push it. That's still not a bad size, but I do want to go give it a chance to go crazy with engine size. So what options do we have here? Ooh. This looks like it might be some Porsche body, 1999. This one fits in the kind of over 3 metre size, just about. So it is taller off the ground though. Like, that is not a sports car body. Unless there is a sports car version of it, and that's just the not sports car. Yeah, there is. There's a lower slung version. So slant nose. So it will be a Porsche body because I think slant nose is a very Porsche thing. So I'll let it decide which one of these bodies, again, as I say, as long as it's one of the sportier ones and not the overall, like, not economy car, but the super saloon ones. We want one of the really low sporty ones. So what have we got in terms of engine size? Will this fit a bigger engine? It will. Width becomes the issue instead of length, but I think it will fit. I think I can probably push 6 litres out of this. Like, I might have to change the dimensions a little to do so, but I believe it will fit a 6 litre engine, so that gives us some choice. So we'll go over max displacement will be around about 6. I do need to show the whole body and stuff as well. Like, I'll remove the wheel again when I've got to that point so we can see it a bit more. We've got 1. This isn't gonna make power. The wheel has made an interesting decision. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have set the wheel up to make the engine that small, but if it insists, you know what? All this panicking and worrying, it's not gonna matter. Not with the engine being under 1 litres. All I can do now is hope it gives me a turbocharger. So I just, as I say, remove the wheel temporarily. This is what we've got, and it is as small as it looks. But it's chosen a big body. I've gone about as small as I can while still having a big body. I might just go back to the other one, to be honest. It's not going to have any trouble fitting. Or maybe I'll go back later and see which body is lightest. Try and kind of push the limits of what I can do. So we've also got to choose the body type. Or let the wheel do it. So we've got see which ones there are. I'd say the majority of these are lower. It's just the wagon is taller. So we won't be going with that. Just in general, it's a taller body. Yeah, so I'm going to go with one of the lower ones. Like, just generally, that's a bit higher. Just the absolute lowest platforms. Let's see what we've got. Okay, so it looks like we've got 5 different bodies here that are much towards the kind of lower slung versions of this platform. So let's give them a go. Choosing number 5. I'll just show this. I didn't show the wheel, but it shows number 5. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that would be the coupe version. Honestly, it's not gone with a convertible, so I'll take it. Like, that looks pretty good overall. And we have to save weight. It's less than a 1 litre engine. It's been the cruelest it can possibly be. Like, the engine made sense. All you had to do was give me a 2 litre or 3 litre engine. And its addiction to the number 1 has really attacked me here. It's not even lightest material. Like, maybe if it was carbon fibre bodied, I would forgive it. I don't know what to say. I hope I make 100 horsepower, because if it doesn't, this thing is not going to get off the line at all. Well, I say that it is, but very, very slowly. Like, this may be the slowest thing we've built. Maybe with the turbos, I'll be able to get some power, and it won't actually be slower than the last car. I can live in hope, okay. So bring up the wheel to see this. We'll go 5, 6, 7. 7 options, I believe. Let's see. Please be nice. Please be nice. I want to rev this thing out if nothing else. 7. It was like on that line between being really cruel and really kind. So just check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just make sure I'm doing it correctly. And we've got 7, yeah. Spin again. Please, please be kind. I'm hoping, okay. I'm hoping what this, what the wheel is kind of deciding upon is an extremely high-tech 1 litre engine that will still make power because it's got twin turbos and everything. It probably isn't the case, but as I say, I live in hope. If the wheel isn't feeling super mean, and I'll take that 6 this time instead of 7, but that is still high-end technology, I think. No, it's not. It's cast. It's like the economy version of cast. Okay, but there's low friction cast. I think that's like mid RPM cast technology, but they're the pistons, and I think everything else will carry this engine, so it's not too bad, even if the pistons are a little on the weaker side. Now we're going to have 1 or 2 for the balancing mass. Please do 2. No, I shouldn't have said anything. Sorry. I mean, it loves the number 1. Quite frankly, it's amazing I got the crank conrods and pistons so nice. Harmonic damper, though, I can probably live without. I'll be honest here. Again, of all the places it can cut corners. Now, do we get VVT? So we've got 1, 2, and 3 for both VVT and VVL. So we're getting VVT2, and we're getting... What's our VVL going to be? Number 1, no VVL. But we're getting at least some kind of VVT. So I can take that. Again, before it gave me no VVT and no VVL. So even if it's just intake VVT, I should be grateful for what I'm getting on this engine. Now here is where I really live in hope. Because I think we've got twin charged, turbocharged, supercharged, and naturally aspirated. So please don't give me a 1. This is where I really need you to not give me a 1, and I shouldn't have said anything. I shouldn't have said anything. My disappointment is immeasurable at this point. Wheel, I know you like the number 1. This is the one time I didn't need you to choose the number 1. I would say I'm in hope here. At this point, I'm losing all hope. If it gives me fuel injection, it might stand a chance, but it's not going to give me fuel injection. Why do you love carburettors so much? I mean, 4 cars, if you include the test one, they've all been carburetted. And why has it chosen a carburetor again is beyond me, but it has. So we've got 5 different carburetor variants. So we'll go 3, 4, 5. Let's see which one it gives me. I nudged the wheel by accident. I'm not trying to cheat it, totally not. So is that DCOE? Okay, we've got one of the better carburetors available. It was doing like 6.7 miles per gallon before, so at least, if nothing else, we can get some economy out of this thing, I reckon. We've got next 3 variants of this. I think whichever one it goes for will be good because it's DCOE. Maybe not the best, but I think we'll get some performance. And we've got 3. Before it went with 6 dual barrel carburettors and it still didn't make power. I don't know if 3 DCOEs will be any better, but I live in hope here. I say, as I've pretty much lost everything but a shred of hope. Because it's a 1 litre engine. And it doesn't even get a turbo to help it along. I mean, if we make 150 horsepower, it's the kind of thing it could be fun, but extremely slow. So, I don't know, it's just going to be too heavy, I think, unless it lets me, unless it gives me, like, some inkling of hope and only turns out to weigh 1,500 kilos or something. Maybe then it will get moving somewhat. Now, it has to choose a fuel type, because wheel, and we are very scared, or I am very scared. This is not going out as it should. It is not going out as it should at all. Number 3. So we've got ethanol blend. I think it went with methanol before. We did not get a huge amount of power in methanol. Maybe this will be better. Maybe. And we've got... I will try and get back to this engine and tune it, but I will see how much power it makes. If it makes over 100 stock, I'll have a little hope restored. So we've got 5 options. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see which fuel type we'll get. If it's E100, I think we'll be pretty safe. 92, is it? So E27. I don't know, 95, 92, 102. That doesn't seem to be a continuous numbers setup. Now, intake manifold. Don't let me down. I say that you're going to let me down, aren't you? No, you haven't. You've given me a race intake, which is actually exactly what we want. We need to make power by pushing air through this engine, and we don't have turbos to help us. We don't even have fuel injection, but we do have triple DCOE carbs. I mean, they're some of the better carburettors, and I think it's going to sound amazing, I'll be honest. But sound isn't everything. At least I can change the engine dimensions if I really need this to rev. So that's a thing. So we've got 6 here. 4, 5, 6. Let's see which exhaust header technology we get. 4. It was almost on 3, but 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it was also almost on cast mid, but we got tubular mid. I think that's going to make a pretty big difference, even though it's not a high RPM technology. Tubular makes a difference. Single or dual exhausts, which do we want? Or which do we get, should I say? Not want. Single. For one advantage, it's lighter, but I don't think being lighter is going to affect it. Now, bypass valves. Are you going to be kind to me here? It is. So we've got a single exhaust, but we've got bypass valves. That means we should be able to run a smaller exhaust. From a weight perspective, that is pretty good. It seems like in the right car, this would be a very nice little engine, little race engine, but unfortunately, this is not a nice race engine for a very heavy GT car, or whatever you might call it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If it gives me high flow, something or other, we should be good. Yes, I think we've just about got a high flow freeway. No pre-cat or anything, but it's got a catalytic converter, but it's high flow, meaning it's going to let a bit more air through. I will take that. We've got 4. Okay. We've got 4 different options here. So, number 2, baffled. The thing is, we don't want it to be super noisy, but we also don't want it to make no noise. I don't know what to think of this exactly. Baffled is not as, like, good for airflow as having no mufflers or straight through, but it should be okay if tuned correctly. 2 baffled mufflers. They're not super high-end mufflers, so it might make some noise, but be quieter than we've got. Look at this power. If I just hide the wheel, look at that power. 56. I can actually briefly mute the music, and let's see. No, I didn't mean to press that. Let's see how it sounds. I mean, I'll be honest. It sounds good, but my hope is still waning. I do not have much hope left, just with how this is a 1 litre engine, but I have to obey the demands of the wheel. I have to do what it tells me to. The one inkling of hope this engine has, it's made of lightweight materials, and it's got a twin cam header, even if it is 2 valve per cylinder. So it shouldn't weigh a lot. It shouldn't weigh down the back of the car. Maybe it'll corner well. 5, 6, 7. We've got. Let us see. Number 7. I could probably turn these headphones down a little. Oh, continuous. Just check that. Continuous. This is new. And I don't hate it. It's not going to be fun to drive, but continuous transmissions in this game, they can pull a lot of performance out of it. And I have got rid of a wheel. And I'm just talking to myself, like, the wheel is not showing, and it doesn't show it. But it showed to me. And you'll have to just trust me this time. 6. So we've got vicious. Not great. I don't think we'll be putting down enough power for it to matter, honestly. It's still got a differential. Even if it is one of the lower end ones, it should be more than enough given how much power we're putting down. Or not putting down. I think it can get over 100, but it's just, I am concerned. It's starting at 56. That does not put my hopes up. You know what? Crossply. Torment. I would say torment me, why don't you? At Crossply, it is very low end. That's the thing. So we've got chunky off-road or terrain. We've got over 7 options. Why am I deleting the options though? That just makes it harder for me. 6, 7 I entered on the actual thing. That's quite a mistake to make. Okay, I think 6 is decent. Which one is that? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got sport. We've got crossply, but the crossply we've got are okay. At least we've not got like chunky off-road. Now that would be really cruel. We've at least got sport. I think that, as I say, the one inkling of hope with this is that the power isn't incredibly high. So I think I would say make the wheels smaller. It's not going to need massive tyres. I could probably even get by with like 185s. And again, another inkling of hope, I guess, we have in this particular case. Oh dear, I'm not learning how to use the wheel properly. Number 5. Okay, I think we're getting decent wheels. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got forged. Nice. Not carbon fibre, but forged. The vibes I'm getting from this are I could actually make a decent retro car. We're going to need something that's extremely long though. So I'm gonna like not just use coupe here because I'm really going to have to dig into the options to see what we can find if I just hide the wheel because it's not necessary right here. Now, I want to go something really old because my hope is an older car will be lighter. I just have to find something that's very low. Like that should be low. I mean, we're in the 50s here, so there's not going to be a whole lot of massive cars in the 50s, but just having a look. There's a limousine. I wouldn't say that's sporty though. 3.2, again, not low, not super low. We're getting closer there. That's 2.88, and that's pretty low. I may have to stretch the limits a little. But yeah, 2.6. I mean, 70s, 69, so technically in the 70s, I guess, in many builds. So many of these cars, though, are tiny. There's a van. Yeah, sure, the van would be almost long enough. High performance sport, as I say, I might have to stretch the limits. We're already in the 80s and things are not long enough. That's a 55. Okay, we're going back to 55. It doesn't seem to be sorted by years. Which is weird. Not here, at least. That is 2.95. I mean, that's not what I would call large, but I could probably stretch the limits a little, as I say. It's just not low slung though. Like if that was a Jaguar E-type thing, maybe. but it is not a Jaguar E-Type thing. Mustang, nope. We're going into the 90s here. 2.82. Any less than 2.8, but the crossover SUV type thing, we were going with 2.7, 2.8, so it's like, where? Are we onto something? Almost. I think if we look through the 90s, late 90s bodies, we may have something. I think I might have been on this before. This might have been one I had before. I mean, like, I can't think of anything better than this, and it's not like we're going to struggle for engine size at all, so I'm just going back to this one. I think there were 5 before. Alright, I have to leave this to the wheel. Honestly, I have to leave everything to the wheel, so since I'm going to have to change the body, I'm going to re-roll this and see what it gives me. Load up the wheel again, actually. Number 2. It's got the coupe. I mean, it's like, I think there might be a open top. Yeah, Targa soft top. That's going to be heavier. So all I can do is rest in good knowledge that it's not giving me the heavier version of the platform. It's still on cross-ply tyres. But yeah, this, I don't think anyone will deny it's large. Although it's not designed to be rear-engined, I don't think the engine's going to struggle. It says there's excessive overdrive from our CVT, not CVT, yeah, CVT. I'm being stupid, it is a CVT. CVT is like 1 gear, but it's interesting because it always keeps you where the power is being made. So if anything, that partially makes up for the ridiculous engine build. The engine was so close to being an amazing engine for this type of car. It's so close to being like a Porsche 911 3 litre or something, but it just isn't. So we've got 5 options here for the front brakes. And we've got, seriously, what are you doing? It did this again. And it did this the same with the same car that had, sorry, with a, not same car, with a car that had the same suspension setup. Like, this is just absurd how it's choosing the same things. You're going to choose carbon ceramics next, aren't you? And is it going to choose carbon ceramics? No. Look. I'll take it, okay? It seems like this is supposed to be more retro, though. This body just doesn't suit it at all. So I'm going to have to stretch for limits. And I'm going to have to go to something older. I don't like changing the body this much, but it's like, what else do we do? Under such circumstances, something about this just screams 1960s at me, and I feel like I have to honour that. So we've got that. Is that a Corvette? No, I don't know. I think that might be a Corvette, but it looks smaller. The E-Type is not as large as I would think. I want to go at least 2.8. Like, I can, as I say, stretch the limits a little. Ooh. I missed this the first time round, but this looks pretty sporty, actually. No idea what this is based off of. But, and maybe you're pushing the limits to say this is a high-performance sports car. But it's 1946. But this has certainly got the right kind of portions to it. I'll see which lower ones there are. Like, I'll probably just go with whichever one of these is the lowest, because they're not all supercars. I get it, like, the wheel needs to choose and stuff. They're not all supercars, sports car type things. I think if I go with one of the lower ones, and even, especially if I can lower the roof, yeah, like, I can lower the roof there. So it's a 40s body. I think I can make this work. Because it screams retro to me more, or vintage to me more than anything. So even though this is a 1940s body, it is indeed massive. So I think it's suitable for the overall, like, what do you call it, feeling I'm going with. So we've got, I think for what I'm doing, like high performance, I'll avoid anything with more than 2 doors. And we'll go with just the sporty, I'll go for sporty body types. I'll let the wheel choose which one of the sporty body types. But it's a high performance sport, so I have to give it a selection of these, like, ones with less windows that'll look a bit more like supercars. I don't like having to re-roll the body this much, but the newer bodies, they just don't fit what I'm trying to go by. 4, let's see, just barely chose 4. We are going with a coupe. It says coupe and it looks like a convertible. Yeah, it looks like a convertible. Does it say front rear engined, track width like that? Max seats, I'd go with 2 front seats. I mean, I don't think you're going to see any supercar of any era with a bench seat in the front, because that's what it is. Now, it does get another roll here, because it is actually a convertible. Somehow I didn't realise it says convertible type. Okay. I feel like I've done myself in by even giving it the opportunity to choose a soft top. So, automatic soft top. And, I mean, if anything, looking like this is probably going to excuse my engine a little for making no power. Like, I can just say, oh, it's an old car. And no one's really going to know any better than it being an old car. Okay, so we've got, where is it? 3.02 meters. I think it's long enough. We've got an automatic soft top, which is going to make it heavier. And I feel like I have done myself in that way. I do have the colour chooser, so if I just check this is all running, so... We've got random colour generated. I mean, it doesn't show up very well, but this is what we've got. So, I won't be using maroon. Dark magenta. We can go and copy that to clipboard. So, we're going to have 2 colours chosen by the wheel. So, let's go dark magenta. We should be able to go... paste, there we go. No, it doesn't seem to have done it. Just let me try this again. Okay. I think I need to paste it in like this. I think it's just... No, it's not liking the way I'm pasting it, so... I've done it, I think. I think I've done it, yeah. I'm so confused as to why it was being like that, but I had to highlight the whole thing and replace it. So we have got, it says black, but it is not black. So that's our next colour we're going to have to make. If we go, I can just do it here, as long as the other one is saved. So we have got, I think I have this saved, so paste, there we go. No, I had the other one copied. That is my own dumb mistake. I can fix it though, it's okay. I can fix him. There we go. It says black, but it looks like we've got 2 variants of purple. I think I can make this work. I really do. Like, I think these colours will complement each other quite well for randomly selected colours. I mean, the other car, if I bring it up, that looks like a electric car of sorts, and it got steel wheels and stuff. But it had a V12 making just under 200 horsepower. To be fair, the one thing is, this engine is at least very light. That was a 2-litre engine and it made no power. So at least if this engine can get anywhere near to that, I can say maybe it's a bit less of a failure. We've got to choose some colours for the body here though. So the roof, with the roof, I might just select something vaguely similar to this purpley colour, but with what's it? So what colours have we got? We've got the lighter purple. I personally feel should go for the top colour, and then the other colour should be lower. There we go. I can add a bumper to the front which matches that or something. There's nothing saying it explicitly has to match the styling of a 1940s car, so I can do with that what I may. And I think that's not perfect. I think I can do something to make it all tie together. And for that I will be happy. I'm just playing with ideas at the moment. Actually, now, all wheels, I'm thinking, because that's not black, but almost black, maybe I could have that kind of, like, feed the lines of the body. I've still got the random wheel there, or random colour generator. Yeah, so I think that, I'm going to change the wheels. But still, we know now, I think we have magnesium wheels, so, I mean, there's nothing explicitly saying it has to match a certain era. But we're going to make it work, I think, in the most accurate way I can. I feel like some kind of wire wheels. So 1920s to 1970s. Let's see what we've got. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that colour being used there. I don't quite know, like, where I want to take this. I'll probably put the wheels in a different colour, to be honest, and go with wire wheels. Like chrome or something, but for the time being, this will do. If I could get white walls, yeah. So, white walls on this would look pretty good. As I say, I'm really trying to lean into a retro look to make this appear better as something that's not going to make a single ounce of power. We do have to finish, though, with the wheel to just finish designing it in general. That is not the random wheel that we were looking for. This is the one we were looking for. It's on a different browser tab. So, oh yes, we have a power split here. That could be useful. We didn't get that with 4x4 because it was locked at 50-50. That could be very useful to adjust, especially with cross-ply tyres. So I'd say let's start with 185s, which are not wide, but I don't think this is going to make a lot of power to need wide tyres, cross-ply or not. So we've got the brakes configured. They are terrible brakes, but they're equally terrible on the front and back, so I think I can make that work, especially if this ends up light as I am hoping. So we've got 7 options for the under tray. We've got 5, 6, 7. Let's see what we can get. We've got option 6. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sport under tray. It's not the lightest technology, but again, with no power, that means it should at the very least go quickly. I'll come back to this because it needs to decide whether I get front and rear aero, which I will do. I'll do it a bit later. As I say, I'm not going to change that, but we have got 7 options for the interior type. We've got 1. This is good. I needed weight saving. The wheel has actually chosen a 1 where you want the 1. I'm going to take that, you know. So we have entertainment. So how many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I've got a plan here. 8, 9. Because this car looks retro, like, I don't feel the obligation to say 90s and later for infotainment. Like, before that was what made sense, given the body type and everything. This is an old style body, so we can go and make this, kind of really low tech if we want. We cannot make it really low tech if we want. Wheel! Wheel, why are you doing this to me? At least do basic, please. We need a 1. Give us a 1, please, or at least a 2. Thank you. So we've got a modern heads-up display, but we've at least got a very basic one, so it shouldn't add too much weight. I will take that as enough of a win. Manual recirculating ball and all that. We've got 7 options. 5, 6, 7. Let's see which steering we are allowed. 2, 1. Manual recirculating ball. You know what? That's good. You might hate me for saying this, but manual recirculating ball is actually about the best you can get with non-power steering. It complains the least. If you go with manual rack and pinion, it doesn't often like it running on a slightly heavier car. So I think I can really feed into the idea, though, that this is like a car from the 1950s or whatever. Or 40s even. So we have got 2. Yes, we've got ABS. You know what? The other one didn't have ABS. We don't need traction control with how light this body is. Not light, sorry. We don't need traction control with how underpowered this thing is going to be. So I'm going to do the same with safety. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we've got 9 options for like the decade of safety. We'll see which one it gives us. Oh. Okay. It's apparently the safest 1940s supercar ever made. And then that's going to mean we have two options. We have standard or we have advanced. I appear to have built the safest car from the 1940s that ever existed. I guess you gain some, you lose some. It's like, this is going to add weight, but we've been lucky enough so far with how it's worked out. So the suspension technology. We've got good suspension, actually. Pushrod front and double wishbone rear. Pushrod wouldn't have even existed in the 1940s. Double wishbone might have. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see what springs we get. Please be decent and not too heavy. 5. Okay, active sport, I think it is. This is looking a lot more like a Resto mod the more I go with it. I can get that vibe though being a Resto mod. Like, it's still got a basic interior from the 40s, but it's got a lot of safety measures here, and it's got a heads-up display upgrade of a basic one. You know what? I can kind of get the vibe, at least. And it's different, very different from the last two we built. Maybe it'll perform well. Maybe it'll actually make some power. I don't know. That's waiting to be seen. I will try and tune the engine into something. The engine into something that can work. Gas monotube. Okay. Not the best dampers, but not the worst. By the looks of it, at least. And we've got passive sway bars, because of course it would be passive sway bars. I would say it'll wobble, but as I say, the body being a high-performance body and not making any power, really, I think this thing isn't going to wobble too much. Also, the suspension is good. So, we've got that. How low can I get it? Like, that's just super low. That's probably going to scrape the ground, to be quite honest, but I could try it. It's performance, I guess. So, the engine now. This is the first point of contention. Although, there is also the transmission. I'll just give it a quick see how much I can get out of it. It's taking like 26 seconds 0 to 60. If it does it in under 10, I could see some potential here. It's going 84 miles per hour with like 50 horsepower or something. I don't think that's the worst I could do. I could do a lot worse than that. So we have got 56 horsepower, 36.5 horsepower. Now, I have to tune it like this. I think first thing I'm going to do, we can actually rev this loads. Okay, we've got 69. I like that number. Yeah, so just ramping everything up to high RPMs is going to get us some power. Like, this is not going to make power, and I won't pretend it will. But the thing just can rev if I really want it to. It's going, and I like that about it. Like, the thing has the potential to rev. It's like, we're already making 80 with just very little effort and, like, ramping everything up for high RPMs. The carburettors as well, like, I can tune the carburettors, can maybe get about 10 horsepower just from tuning the carburettors intake, outtake stuff. Before I had to make the compression load, this is actually getting 20 miles per gallon. The other one, as I say, it was doing like 6.7 as it had to be a mean number. I can't remember exactly what it finished as, but it was really inefficient. This engine in comparison, even being carburetted, is at least making some fuel efficiency, if it's not great. So like a racy engine, let's say, with some fuel efficiency, I can take that. So we've got the carb size, as I kind of expected. It doesn't like the carbs being massive. It had that same thing going on before, though. Just too much carbs, too much airflow. It wasn't really doing it any favours, to be quite honest. Like, you do need a certain level of carb size, but especially on a small engine like this, you're not going to benefit from having all of that air pushed into the engine. Now, we've got a race intake. It may benefit from going bigger. I don't know. I want to get at least 100 horsepower. With 100 horsepower, it's the kind of thing that maybe all else being equal, it could be good. Now, if I get this and it's got like 1,200 kilos, it may stand a chance. 1,200 kilos and like quite slippery. Perhaps. That's not a bad option to go with. So we've got this. Now, exhaust size. Making this smaller may gain me some power. I thought I was going to get more, though, to be honest. I lived in hope there. I should not have lived in hope there. Oh dear. 41. So it seems to get a bit more power here. But I don't know, does it? It looked like it hopped up a little bit. Typically, the header sizes don't like being too big. Granted, this is not designed for this. Somehow I can imagine it being the most fun car that makes no power. But I really don't know, because at this point, 100 horsepower should not be as it is, like, the target for me. So we're not going to have to go that far. This is economy car slow. Yeah, the thing is, the wheel has given me this engine. Also, hiya, Victor. And welcome to this chaos. It's given me, like, these options. I can actually remove the wheel now. I've done all the selections with it. But anyway, it's given me this engine option. And it was, like, making sense. For a random wheel, this was making a lot of sense. If I just scroll back, it was like, you can have a Boxer 6-cylinder. Yeah, the stress on the right doesn't seem bad at all. So, where's it? YouTube window's being a bit funny. Yeah, that. Like, I just ramped up some numbers. That's oversteer it's complaining about. That's not to do with the engine. 75% for... I'll have a look, because it's given me like a 1 litre engine and a large supercar body. It's a bit awkward to deal with. So... yes, the arrows. So the, yeah, it chose a carburetor as well. Like, I've done 4 cars this way. One of them was a test run. Every single time it chooses carburetor over fuel injection. I don't know why the random wheels like carburetors so much. They just do. So, 75 for intake, which I'm guessing is carburetor. Where is it? I need to find where the carburetor's gone. Yeah, I still don't know. After so many years of messing with this game, I don't know where the intake. We've got some intake here. Yeah, I chose naturally aspirated, so I'm not allowed a turbocharger. Okay, carb is 85. I mean, it's given me good carburetors, though, to be fair. Like, it's given me good carburetors, but it's just so far against fuel injection. Ooh. I don't know if more is better in this case, but it's like, I can get the carburetor to 100%. So, 75 for manifold. I mean, I can try and get 85. Like, it's given me options, at least. There we go, that's 85. So, we've got, carburetor 85, yes. So manifold, give me a good manifold. It's giving me a race manifold. I mean, at this point I just want to make 100 horsepower because it's a 1 litre engine. It really needed larger. 75% for manifold. Is that going... Okay, so can try changing that down. At least it's giving me options. So, by just adjusting this stuff, manifold 81%. Okay, 75, almost there. Like, it's not absolutely ideal, but I have the adjustments to make. And 85 for exhaust. I mean, exhaust is 88, so for now that can probably be left-ish as it is. I mean, can try that, so... That has lowered it. That goes up. Oh yeah, I can use the scroll wheel. I mean, I just usually, like, click the things. Scroll wheel does work, though. Probably better than how I've been doing it. So it's making 76 now. I mean, I did just rack up the cam profile and springs and lifters because it makes power. And I was just trying desperately to do something that would get power. I mean, I know you can do better with, like, adjusting this stuff finally, but... Like, I was just throwing stuff up with blind hope. Okay, lower springs and lifters helped. Yeah, the thing is, like, I get the engine exhaust changes the weight, and I won't deny that. But as I say, the wheel has only allowed me to have... the wheel has only allowed me to have a 1 litre engine with a single exhaust, so I don't think that's going to be a major issue. And also, if we go to car model design, we've got, like, a 3.0 metre long body, and that with a 1 litre engine in the rear. It's in the rear, like, it's rear engined. I don't think that's really going to make any issues for weight. Had it been a larger engine, I would be concerned, but it's as it is. I don't think the exhaust weight is going to really mean anything. Where is it? So I completely closed the window there. It's somehow making 17.2. I have the mystery party wagon, actually. I have an image of it. That's the mystery party wagon I built before. It's got like a 200 horsepower V12, under 200, and it's front wheel drive. Yeah, the wheel has built some odd things. But the colour scheme also, I did use some random colour selector. On this one and the last one. Done some odd things. So manifold is 75%, which I think is correct. I'm just lost at this point. Like, how? The thing is, I think it's more the engine, I'll be honest. I so want to get 100 horsepower, though. Like, at this point, economy doesn't matter, because the thing is not going to move at all. Estimated peak torque. Estimated peak torque around 8,000. It says horsepower. From what I can see, torque is, I think, 5,800. Horsepower is around 8,200. Because the thing is, as the wheel has configured this, RPM and torque is no issue at all, given what the engine is. So I feel like I might as well just rev it out in the pursuit of maximum power. So the springs, yeah, the springs I tried to make a bit lower. I do want the over one a little because it helps to a point. Cam profile. There it is. Estimated peak torque, 10,100 RPM. That is a lot of RPMs. And it can take it, surprisingly enough. I wonder if actually changing this... I think I can really make it rev out. That's some revs. If I can get it to actually use them... It actually flattens out really nicely at the top end. Like, that's going to hold it. It's going to hold its 80 horsepower or so. Why am I lowering it? I don't know. I probably should lower it, but I like how it is. Cam profile can go lower. I can probably try the compression even. I mean, I just have fun with this stuff. There's also the avatars. It's I've got Vocaloid pack and I've got a few I made myself. So just mention this. So yes, I can become a pair. Estimated peak torque. So is it... I think I get it now. Sorry, I'm just being dumb and confused. So, I think, does that lower it? Yes, it does. Like, I'm just trying to work this out, and I'm messing up badly, but... Yeah, estimated peak torque is about 8100 now. It actually shows green. I don't know. 8200 actually shows as being green, so I'm guessing that means I'm doing it correctly. The problem is, for just brute power, like, it now seems to have gone down. Maybe I'm missing the obvious. Although I do appreciate the advice, because I'm not that great about building engines, so trying to get this into a usable state... With the springs and lifters, power is actually going up again a bit. I feel like it's going to be fun to drive, but it's like, it's going to be so slow. It's like power, what power? What is power? So, yeah, 8200. I could probably lower that a little more, actually, because the max RPM has gone down. 8100? I don't know. Yeah, the acceleration probably is getting better. The thing is, it's like, my mind just sees this and it's like, that's a bad engine. I don't think for like a 2-valve per cylinder, 1 litre 6-cylinder, it's probably not that bad, but it's just the wrong car for such a tiny engine. Yet the wheel is all-knowing. I cannot disobey the whims of the wheel, which also seems to love the number 1. So... that's something. I think the compression as well is odd. Okay, the estimated peak torque 1000 below the rev limit. I am learning, so I think I'll try 7,000, which isn't 1,000 below, but it's definitely below. Oh yeah, the manifold, it does all affect that. My mind is being done, like, it does all go through the exhaust and intake headers, so... There is the carburettors. Oh, carburettors getting me more power now. So, let's do the menu. Compression is clock. There's emissions. There's a clock. It's fine. I actually appreciate it because I just don't know a whole lot about this game. I have fun with it, but I don't know a whole lot about what I'm doing. I don't understand what this means, though. That's the only thing. Like, I see colours. I see colours, but I just don't understand what that's saying to me. Yeah, it's like, the issue is, the peak power going down on this engine is... That's what's bugging me, because if it was making more power, then it would be fine to take 10 or 20 off, but this just makes no power to begin with. And it's like, the car is probably not going to be super lightweight either. I can actually check the weight of the car just for perspective. We've got 20 miles per gallon. I mean, for all its issues, it's actually pretty economical. I feel I've accidentally built an economy car, or the wheel has accidentally built an economy car that looks like a supercar. It's 1460 kilos, so it's heavy. Honestly, I expected worse. I expected worse than this weight. I think maybe I need to expect it as that. The displacement is 1 litre. The wheel decided up to 1 litre, so I had to obey it. I mean, I could change the bore and stroke. So I feel like actually stroke might make more power if I just start messing with this. I feel like, because it's going to have no issues with revving out, so if I were to try that, it certainly maxes out lower for RPM. I mean, the wheel isn't usually cruel for this, like, displacement. It does love carburettors for reasons I cannot understand. But still. Yeah, it's just 1 litre. I mean, I can probably push it to 1 litre. The bore to 63 and 63.4. And the stroke to 52.8. Okay, so hopefully that'll work. I mean, it did. Actually, here's the thing. I'll show you how it was kind to me. It may be important anyway. Look at the crank and conrods it gave me. And then it said I have to build a 1 litre engine. It's almost like it gave you really nice parts there, and then it's like, oh, but it's going to be 1 litre. That's sounds amazing, actually, having a calculator for it. I just couldn't program. I mean, I'm also using a Radeon 7000 series, which apparently has issues with crashing on this game. I say apparently because mine has never crashed with this card. I got lucky. There would be valve float when I'm revving it that high. Oh yeah, the block material. I don't know if I showed that. It's almost like it's trolling me, because look at the stuff it gave me. It gave me stuff that would be ideal for a rear-engined car. And then it's like, oh, but it has to be 1 litre. Like, really, you could have just given me an inline 3 at this point. In some ways, an inline 3 would have been better, I'm sure, because there's just less going on. ChatGPT. I feel like ChatGPT, though, would do a less efficient job of this stuff. Honestly, it's one of those things. I just don't mess with it. It's like I made the avatars myself. I just like making my own stuff. Anyway, we've got... I mean, raising the cam profile actually does change it here. RPM limiter, cam profile and lifters. Oh yeah, that's gone low now. I think it's because the bore and stroke changed. It is now making power, so at least it has worked to... Yay, higher revving. The thing is, it's like, it feels like this engine could rev, but it's not beneficial to rev. And as I say, it's like the wheel was trolling me. You know what I can actually do? I can ask the wheel if it's trolling me. Let's see if the wheel is actually just trolling me. Okay. There, we have conclusive evidence now that the wheel is trolling me. Capable... I mean, I believe it is. Yeah, honestly, I believe fully that this is capable of 12,500. But it's like, the old case is, can it use that? Because just revving an engine up doesn't necessarily help it. Like, I can make all of this power that way. But sometimes you mess up the power curve. From what I do know, you mess up the power curve by sometimes doing that. I mean, it does seem to be working, just messing around with it. It is revving up. But I don't believe it could actually get to that. As I say, it's a 1 litre engine, so it should theoretically be able to rev, but there's also other stuff going on, like the carburettors. I do like how when I raise the springs and lifters, though, it does flatten out, meaning I could hold it at that power. Flows, cams... there's holding the engine. There we go. It's somewhere there. I think that's held it. Ah, yeah, so many features of this game I just didn't even know there were. I mean, like, just ramping up. I don't mind too much if it's got no low end, because I feel like at least that will make it feel a bit more like a supercar. But usually I do just ramp this stuff up and then tune the rest of it, but that has just completely balked the delivery. So what does it say about the peak RPM is 9,100. I think if I make that to a little lower, not like super low, but we can get 80 horsepower. The CVT it's given me, at least with that, for some reason CVTs in this game are just super overpowered and they'll let you accelerate more for no good reason. Yeah, I mean, I do understand the hold thing. Like, it seems very useful, and for some reason I've never used it before. I should have. I really should have, but I just didn't. So we've got, I mean, that goes up. Like, that's the thing. The power is going up with cam profile. Okay, set that to temporarily, I mean, that's what I was playing around with at first. I feel like the springs and lifters don't need to be as high. I think I've had that before. Just having them raised past a certain point doesn't really have any benefit. So I'll put it on 90. And then 85% on that. The carburetor is lower than that. I think maybe making it larger doesn't do any good. I mean, it's like, as I say, there's so many better ways to configure an engine. You don't need triple DCOE carburettors. I feel like it's just too much for such a tiny engine, but at least it's not been cruel and said you get a single barrel eco carb. Then power would be even harder to get. So exhaust is 81. So I think if exhaust is like closer to 85, I don't know. Sometimes this is a kind of case, I think, of it drinks more fuel, but hey, at least it goes faster. I mean, I think I did a really bad job of tuning the mystery wagon. Ah, yeah, the RPM limit. I didn't realise I was running so close. Oh, it really does rev out. Revs out more than it did before. I didn't realise that. So, the limit's 12,000. I think if I just go, yeah, it doesn't let you rev any higher than 12,000 anyway, so I don't think there'll be a single issue with just revving this out. Granted, the power does drop off eventually. Ooh. So if I do that, that really makes it hold. Like, if I can hold 80, it might not be as bad. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I trust the engine will do 12,000. I just don't know if there's power in it. That's all I'm thinking. There's compression. I mean, if I've completely balked that, maybe fixing the compression will help. And then I can change everything else. That's a little better. So that's what I mean. It's just if the power drops off there, I feel it maybe won't want to rev to 12,000 no matter what I do. Check the airflow again. The exhaust is on 98. I don't know how fuel map got so low. I'm sure I didn't say it that low. I am also, I probably should have mentioned, it's on ethanol blend. The wheel chose ethanol blend. For all that might affect it. The wheel said ethanol blend, and so I had to put ethanol blend on it. Having the exhaust manifold larger does kind of help the airflow, like, or not airflow, it kind of helps it not have a terrible power curve. Ah! I'm getting closer to 10,000. I mean, I feel like the exhaust shouldn't be on 100%. But it seems to want to be on 100% no matter how I treat this stuff. And the configuration is far from ideal, I'll say that much. It's like, so much of this just doesn't make sense. Like, if I was building this engine, obviously a high revving engine, I would go with a tubular long or tubular race, but it's declared the wheel, the wheel which is actually admitted to trolling me, has exhaust airflow is like 101. Does making the exhaust larger or smaller change that? It does. So I can get a little closer by just sticking a massive exhaust on it. Again, I would have gone with a dual exhaust, but it does not want me to go with a dual exhaust, so I will not go with a dual exhaust. I can just see how it sounds, because sometimes they sound good. I mean, if nothing else, it sounds good. If nothing else, I mean, you can say that's a win. So the flows, manifold is 45%. That's not near 85 or 75. The header. Is that going to make the manifold higher? No, it's not. Is that going to make it higher? I can kind of get closer with a manifold, but I have to set up white. Looks like about 50 to 60 is probably good for getting that up. I mean, I think I've got it revving higher. Perhaps by accident, I don't know. Perhaps by design, but it is now revving higher. Seems like maybe getting the manifold and stuff set up like that is helping. I don't normally spend this long on an engine. Although it is helping. It is in the fuel section. It's working, I mean. Springs are lifted. They were about 100. Yeah. they are at 100. Again, I can try messing with compression. I mean, I will be putting this in beam energy drive, so whether or not it drives well, I mean, it's anyone's guess, but I can try. I mean, I think these cars seem to get slower every time I build one, because the first time it had like a V10 and made like 300 horsepower. Just under 300 horsepower. And now we're struggling to make 100. And that's like with that's even with someone who knows stuff helping me, and I'm still failing to make any power out of the engine. Oh, hi Kulansi, is it? Hope I'm saying that correctly. Could try downsizing the exhaust. Where is it? There it is. I mean, it doesn't seem to make that much difference, honestly. It's a very awkward engine build that the wheel has decided I should choose. So we've got 72. Is that going to help? I'm just thinking, no. It's not really helping anything lower than that. The carb size could go up. I think actually the carb size may have made it rev higher. Perhaps unintentionally, but I guess it is a point of letting air into the engine. So I think there's probably a limit, but I'm just going to whack that up, see if it makes it rev higher. No, it doesn't. It did to a point. That actually seems to be lowering the exhaust numbers. A bit more, it did make it rev to 9300, so I think there's a right size for this. And we've got fuel map. How does the timing affect it? I've not adjusted the timing yet. I recall before I was able to just rack the timing up and get more out of it. It is revving, I mean, I can say that much. It often doesn't like it when I go and stick that up and it complains about it, but it does make power. Oftentimes it does. I mean, this is the best power I'm making, to be honest. The carb size seems to go up and then get worse. Fuel and timing at 55. It's making some power that way. And it is still revving. This carb size, I can try again. No. I feel sure making that slightly smaller did actually briefly get me more power. Just in the fuel map is getting me power here. No, for compression, there's a term. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, they're very big, but it's like, the way I see it, you've got to push air into this engine, it's tiny. In a way, for a naturally aspirated, carburetted, what's it called? Naturally aspirated carburetted 1 litre, these numbers are already impressive. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what I was trying to say earlier, like, the RPM, I can get it that this engine could technically rev that high without issue, but sometimes it's just not going to make enough power hold on long enough to actually use it. It's like, sure, in the ideal world, with the ideal configuration, it probably could reach 12,000. But it's like, I have to take the hand that's been dealt to me and try and get this thing working. I think the numbers are kind of balancing out for intake and stuff. The valves are still actually very high there. 100% is the air it needs to get to around... No, the air it needs around 85%. Ah, yeah, so that's the balance number. I mean, the valves is on like 87, so that's almost ideal. For that particular aspect. I think here, like, if I can lower this a little, it seems like it's making power, but I'm not going to want it to drop below 9300. That seems like the point at which it's going to rev up to with this configuration. I don't think I'm going to comfortably get more than that. Nah, so cam profile can be high. I mean, it's making power. It's not the ideal power curve, but maybe it'll be better when I drive it. I don't know. Now again, that's revving it lower. Lowering the fuel map is helping power a bit. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing something. I feel like, I don't know if this is making it better or worse, but it's making power. The numbers are staying around about 70 to 80. I guess carburettor is 69, that's a bit lower, so maybe there's something to be had there. Although it does stop it revving a little. So that stays on 75 if I lower the carburettor size. So if I change the fuel map, can I get that closer to 75 on the manifold, I wonder? Well, it's probably adjusting the manifold for that, to be honest. And I'm not doing that correctly. It looks like manifold at least is a weak point here, from what I'm seeing. So header size, I think that's okay on 50. So, yeah, this manifold is going down. And it loses power if I make it too small. Seems in general it does like 75 to 80, and anything more than that just doesn't start helping it at all. Can try tweaking the $82. Maybe I change that to make it smaller, and then I can get back perhaps with a manifold. No, that's doing the opposite. If I make it up at least. Although it does make power. Maybe the engine just isn't balanced at all. Where's the exhaust, I guess? I could try. There's a lot of power in this manifold though, even if it is messing up the engine. It does seem to kind of be working in the most bizarre of ways. I believe just in general configuration though, this is probably like the best and the worst engine I've had, or I guess you could say the best engine in the worst car kind of ordeal. The only excuse I have is that it looks like it's from the 1940s, which was by design. Okay, so I've got, by just tweaking the exhaust, I managed to get them to about 85 other than the manifold, which is a bit awkward, but it seems like it's doing something. So I think I'm fairly happy with this overall. I can just, I can just try and tweak it. I think this is as good as I'm going to get it. I'm not very good at this stuff, but like, if it makes power, I think that's something. That makes a bit more power. So I think I want to keep the revs high. 9100. I think at this point 9100 is still sporty. Should still be a fun experience, if very slow. The numbers are mostly hovering around 85. So that's something. .7. At this point, does the exhaust help? No. Okay, I think that's okay. It's about as good as I'm going to get. Also, the revs. Could lower that a little just for the engine. Well, not engine safety, but I think it might perform better if it's not just dropping off loads at the end of a power curve. I think 9,900, maybe 10,000. 10,000 just so I can claim it's a 10,000 RPM engine. And that should do. Time to use the overpowered cheat code that is a CVT transmission. So 101.7. We're doing 100 miles per hour. Things could be a lot worse. So we've got 15.9. Ooh, CVT cheat code. By doing that, for what it is, I think I could be doing worse than this kind of acceleration. Maybe I need smaller tyres. Width-wise. Granted, it's slow, but it moves. Okay, so what have we got for tyres? We can widen them. Or widen the track, just to make handling better. Probably going to hurt acceleration, but I have a plan to make it less dreadful. I mean, it's got 4-corner independent suspension for cross-ply tyres. 13.8. Oh, we also have all-wheel drive. All-wheel drive on this kind of doesn't make sense. Maybe if I adjust the power curve, can I get any speed there? So, it looks like if I do that, I don't think I need too much power at the front, to be honest. Like, I don't think it's really going to help with turning and such. So, if I keep the tyres maybe the same width, but I keep as much of a rear bias as I can get to the overall power distribution. Oh dear. At this point, if it gave me rear-wheel drive, it would have been a better car to drive, I reckon. At this point, I might just make it more of a cruiser and just make it softly sprung. So we've got 13.8. It's not going to need wide tyres, even being a slightly heavier car. 14. And what wheels have we got? So try making them a little smaller. 14.3. 14.1. I believe it was actually a thing. They put narrower tyres but bigger wheels on a car at one point. So we've got 13.6. It's a science I don't understand, but if it's a science that works. 13.2. This is making it quicker. I wonder if I could do something really dumb. 12.9. Why is this making it faster? 12.8. Yeah, we don't ask questions as it works. So 155, is that? Yes, that's holding some speed. Maybe 19s. 12.9. Could try changing the power distribution. I could make it front bias. That would be a weird setup. So I think if we're looking at this as is, I think 155 with 19-inch wheels, which do not fit cross-ply at all, but we can try it. It's just, we don't ask why it works, we just know it works. Maybe if I change that to be lower. Oh, yes. This is actually not going too slow. It's slow, but I expected worse. And these wheels are not going to work at this size. The cross plies are just about looking okay. If I went with any bigger wheels, they would not look okay. So we've got that. I'm going to have to change these wheels, I think. But what to? If I'm trying to pull the Westo mod thing, GTR wheels, need to find some that just don't look dreadful. Maybe these ones? No. Ford Escort wheels. I don't hate them. Don't hate them too much. They're still 155 for width, but massive diameter with tiny width is making this thing quicker than it would otherwise have been, with just little over 80 horsepower. So all wheels will go, maybe make it some chrome. I think we have a chrome though on global, is it? Defaults? I did think there was, maybe there isn't. I mean, I'm not sure how good chrome will generally look on the rest of the car, but I can try. Maybe it would actually be better with just steel, to be honest. Well, not steel, like aluminium. I think aluminium in general looks better than chrome. Just a bit more subtle. So we've got the trim panels. Trim there. It's got like an automatic soft top. I could make it paint colour because it looks better, but I don't think that's as it should be. So we've got window trim. Make that the steel colour, maybe, instead of chrome. And then we've got our dodgy drum brakes to hopefully get working. It is rear engine, but what I'm thinking of, to try and retain a certain level of elegance to it, if I go and add, like, little vents on the top, so, vents, yes. There's gotta be something here I can use. Maybe a grill. Where are the grills? The front... Ah, I found something. Will that work? I don't know. Probably. I think if I just go with that, maybe. It looks a bit like a bumper, though. If I go, try changing all the chrome bits. Looks like steel, although it's supposed to be aluminium. Headlights. I think I know. If we're going Westo mod visually, and we can tie it into a wheel perhaps with this. That looks a bit odd, but it is a wheel car, so we must have wheel design features. And then I think if we go like this, change it to the aluminium colour. I don't hate that. I think I do want to change the front overall design to have a bumper or something that matches. Pickup truck bumper, yes. Why does a pickup truck bumper actually look good? The pickup truck bumper should not look this good on it. Maybe if we go lower that. Okay. I think I might have had an idea. So just to keep in line with the trim, if we make this stuff primary car... not that one. I mean, I was thinking of changing this to the, trim, which would be that. And it would kind of line up. Maybe if we also go with some headlights... I feel like they should go outwards. Like, if we could get some of these... They look kind of like really vintage lights. I don't know if I like this visually. I think Jaguar had something like this, but Not quite the same. So again, we're going to go follow the overall design scheme. Maybe I make them smaller. I don't want a grill on the front particularly, but I need to somehow make this look good. So if we go bumper bar, is it going to be here? There was something and it was like a bash bar type thing which you could use in a classic car and it would actually work decently well. So maybe if we go just something like that. Granted, it's very low, so I feel something like that. I mean, I don't know. I could try mirroring this in the middle, perhaps. I think I have an idea. It's going to technically be like fake exhausts, I think. But if I do this correctly, I could make it look kind of good. So, maneuver that there, and then we'll go mirror it. I think that looks okay. I mean, there's technically a triple exhaust and only one, but I think it's the kind of thing you could feed all three through one single exhaust, so I don't think that's going to look the worst. Gonna go the bumpers. So, there we go. Bring that to the front. Maybe make that a little smaller. Oh dear, I'm controlling the wrong thing, the wrong measurement. That should work. Then we'll go, we need to get our wheel logo as well. Not here, like we need to go and maneuver our wheel logo. I think if we go rotate 90 degrees. Nope. Ah, it's not doing what I want it to. So if we maneuver that round a little. That should work. So we'll go mirror that. And we still don't have indicators. I don't know if indicators were even a legal requirement back then, to be honest. But we're going to put them on anyway. I don't know, maybe I should put them somewhere else. I think that's okay. But I don't know, because I feel like at the same time it needs to be kind of separated out in order to be a cohesive design. It just looks like the car's crying though if I do that. There we go. We do need our badge, as I say, our real badge. Which I have invented. I could put it there or I could put it there. I feel like it fills a bit of a gap here though if I put it here, so I mean that will work. I feel this car's going to look a lot quicker than it is though. That's my concern. Because it could look so much worse. But then this is not going to be quick. I mean, I've done what I can and the brakes still aren't sorted. So if we go, there's got to be V somewhere. There we go. We'll go pivot that. 90 degrees. So we'll go... Maybe that'll work. There's our wheel badge. That's how we know it's a real thing. There we are. So we've got that. We'll go... Hopefully have that on like the boot lid area of the car. I say boot lid. We need ventilation here for the engine. It is rear engined. I've managed to kind of hide the fact there's no grille on the front, I think, decently well. I mean, there's always doing a Tesla and like just removing all grills from the front and calling it a day, but I like to design this stuff through. Where's that gone? So we will move that. This is our wheel logo. Could put it on the fuel filler cap actually. But I think that would be a fun idea. Wherever the fuel filler cap may be going. I don't hate how it looks though. You wouldn't even know it's on cross-ply tyres. And I've made it quicker than it might have otherwise been. I don't know about the aero though. So do we need to ask for real what we do for aero? Do we have I feel like he's going to just tell me to have all aero. None and all. This is something we need to try before I just finish the car off. I'll take it. I'll take just rear aero because I can make this work. It could have been a lot cooler on the aero front. But it's just something that I feel we need to do on this point in time. So I can minimise the wheel or just hide it in OBS and we can go with spoiler. Like, this just means I don't have to throw away the entire design. Active aero. What is this one? Now, I'm going to need something that's a bit more of a lip like this. Exactly kind of thing. That's not working. Finding a wing to fit on this rounded body will be a bit of a difficult thing. It just doesn't seem made for a wing, and I can't say that's really a surprise. So I think I can see something I can do. If we move it back in a little to the body. Spoilers and wings. I think I could try making this longer. That's a way. That's just not going to work. I need a bit more of a lip spoiler in order for this thing to actually look like it belongs. There we go. So this should be... I mean, maybe if I widen it out, it wouldn't look too bad. How long has it been now? It's been almost 2 hours of car building. Ah, it's not working. I don't think the wing is supposed to do that. Just a hunch. Have I gone on 3D? What's going on now? Is it like flipped back or something? I think maybe if I go... What are you doing? The wing is being weird. I'm going to need to add another wing. Ah, it's not functioning. Somehow I feel that whatever you're building will be better than mine. Currently, I'm trying to put a wing in the car. The car does not want a wing. I mean, I think I've made it look better than it could. It's not great though. The wheel did tell me I have to put a wing on it, so I must obey. That's not the worst actually. I'll take this wing. At least it kinda works. There we go. It has now got a somewhat natural looking rear wing. I feel like, I don't know about the rear bumper though. Like what will I do here? Trying to go with a Westo mod kind of theme design wise. There we are. Like if I move that. Looks a little odd, but I think I can get somewhere with this. Just keep that continual line flowing in terms of the coloration, which will go like that. And if it's a Westo mod, it's not inconceivable that you would keep painted bumpers. The wheels look absurd because they're 155 width cross plies, which somehow put the power down better than you would expect. And got the exhausts there. Somehow got indicators. I feel like indicators are not mandatory, but I'm putting them on anyway. There is, I think some little round mirrors would look good on this. Probably only need one, but it's a Westo mod, so we can put the best on. I feel like that should be turnable. Seems like you can't turn them correct direction. I could actually, what I could do, I could put them like right on the front of the car. Fender mirrors. I don't think that looks that good though on this particular body style. Some things it will work on. I don't think it'll work on this one in particular. If I go 3D, I guess that's the only way I can realistically get these to sit. There we go. I think I could have done worse. Although we do need to be chrome. Or not chrome, the silver, like aluminium colour. Because that's the aesthetic I'm going with, more than the actual just outright shiny chrome, which it would have been if it was an OEM vehicle in that time period. One thing I can say, I've built worse looking cars. It looks better than last week's car, even if it's slow. So, convertible roof. I'm going to have to try and match this to, I think, the body colour. I'm going to go, it's a convertible soft top, there we go. I'm going to try and make this look somewhat like the body colour. I think that works. I could do that, or I could either do something matching the darker colour down, lower down on the car. I think I like this though. For random colours, it's actually picked some pretty nice colours. Could have been a lot worse than the colours it chose. Gonna stick some blob indicators on. No, they're not blobs so much, they're round, but the point remains. And they're not the old style ones I thought they were. Maybe I'll lower them a little. Oh, they're on 3D for some reason. Maybe I'll make them smaller. There we go. Looks okay. I thought put the indicators on the back down like really low or something, but then you wouldn't see them. I think if I go three-dimensional with these on the 3D mode, could probably put them in the bumper. That's not a look I would particularly despise. Maybe if I move them inwards, because out that far they don't look good at all. Can try making them smaller a little. There we are. And then I think, personally, just remove the chrome and match it to the body colour. They look a little off, but it's close enough. Now, I don't know, I feel like I should have a touch on the back, but I've overdone the rear round tail lights in terms of the wheel thingy. I've had an idea, perhaps. I've had a weird idea. So we've got this, this is the badge. The wheel badge. If I put that in a circle, and I have like some tail lights feeding off it, can probably use this another letter O if it lets me. There we go. But make this one larger and a bit wider. This it's an idea to kind of tie it into a wheel thingy. I don't think I need the badge in there though. I don't think it really adds anything. I think the badge above it is better. I do have an idea though as to tie this into the wheel brand car. Because the brand is always wheel on these. It's the wheel that has created the car. The wheel has told me how to create it. And then I have to suffer its antics. So we want that to be on the edge. Mirror this on the other side. And that's not wanting to go underneath, is it? So I think we'll change that. That's kind of supposed to point to a wheel. It's a very bad way of implementing it, but still. They're supposed to be like wheel needles on the wheel. Because I did 2 cars with just round tail lights. I don't want to try and repeat that. Actually, I could try making them a little flatter. It wouldn't hurt too much. Or if I make this a bit more outwards, yes. Collectively, those 2 tweaks make it work. So, enlarging that a little. Then the tail lights, what I do, I'm not so sure. What would actually look kind of like a 1940s car, I wonder? I think some kind of like oval light, oval tail lights. There's these ones. I do not despise this look. I think in reality they'll probably have more chrome around them, but they don't look enough out of place to make me concerned. I mean, I would put some chrome. No, I would put something, I mean, it's got to be more modern styling. I guess as the glass, I could change that to something a little more modern looking. And if that's not aluminium, it's probably steel, but I can go with the aluminium material instead of a steel one. They look like blacked out tail lights almost. Not what I was going for, but anyway. I don't know about fuel filler cap, because I feel it would just ruin the overall smooth design of it. And that's still before the mechanicals are finished and doing all this. We do need some ventilation. Hopefully the ventilation will look okay. The grills can be a bit awkward to get working though. So there we go. Have that been working? Yes, I need to English. I could try flipping it the other way. No, that's not going to work. I do need to get some kind of a ventilation to the back though. Somehow, without it looking completely off, which that actually does. I think they call it grill 2. Maybe this will do the job. I will change it to steel instead of or not, aluminium instead of what do I call it? Aluminium instead of the chrome because aesthetic and stuff, but no less. I could probably just cover up the boot join point slightly and it will still look recognisable. It's a large vent. Hoping it looks okay. Because this is our cooling. I do feel there's a fine line between making this look awful and making it look good. Got to go on car. I can try and change the grill because when it's just not visible through at all, it's like, how is that going to serve the point to ventilate it? Could also make this a little flatter because probably wouldn't go that deep down in reality. That might be all the ventilation I need. It's nowhere near the engine, but who's going to know unless you look down? It's actually closer than I thought. There's a lot of rear overhang on this. Now, which door handles would look smooth on this? I think these. Well, they're not a smooth visual design, but they do fit. They're period accurate, at least to a point. I think those are a little better for it. Those look a little nicer. So flip those round. I say period accurate. It is likely a modern car where somebody has decided to, for some reason, put the worst engine in for this type of vehicle. But no less. Now the brakes need doing. The awful brakes it has decided. It at least made them consistently awful, and we've not got a lot of weight. And they have ABS, unlike the last car. So we've got this. The The car has strong oversteer. I can fix that because it's giving me all-wheel drive. That's an easy fix, actually. I would think it was an easy fix. Try increasing rear grip. But tiny, narrow tyres are speedy. I think there is that. There's the suspension settings. I think you can do it. It's got a weird suspension setup, but one I've used before. So if I soften the rear, that kind of fixes it. Because the front is very stiff. I'll have to try and give that some work. It does not seem to need a lot of anti-roll on the back, though, surprisingly enough, so I can get rid of that, and that will probably make it a little softer, just by virtue of having no anti-roll. And try and make the front softer, because it doesn't have to be super stiff on a rear-engine car. What's the weight balance, actually? Because it shouldn't be that bad, really. If we find the figures... The weight balance has got to be somewhere. So we have got just under 1,500 kilograms for weight, and we have got 45% front, 55 rear. That's probably the best thing about it, to be honest. The weight balance is actually really quite good. It's rear bias, but not incredibly crazy rear bias. I mean, I could try changing more power to the back, but since I have all-wheel drive, sending 50% rear, 50% front, I could make worse decisions. As long as it still gets around a corner, then it's still going to be fine, ultimately. Supposedly it does 12.8 0 to 60, so I would have expected worse. I guess the engine being tuned better is helping it. I mean, my car still does 2-litre diesel, and that's still doing 8 seconds, so... I think 8.1-ish. So that's a lot quicker than something that actually looks legitimately menacing. The diesel estate will destroy it. Probably around corners as well, because it's got hydraulic suspension. So can we get extra speed? We can. How is this doing almost 110 miles per hour? I cannot hope to understand. 109.2 miles per hour, and how's the miles per gallon, I wonder, at the end of it? 18 miles per gallon and almost 110 miles per hour top speed. I think the other did something like 135, and that had 200 horsepower, so something's working on this. Despite having no power, something is actually working overall. It's not as slow as I would have expected, especially given it's the best part of 1,500 kilos. So what else is there that we can adjust? Brakes. There's brakes. There's the aero. That was it. The aero is the crucial thing, because it did say have rear aero. It didn't specify how much rear aero we need. So this is where I can kind of cheat a little. Just give it the bare minimum while still having downforce on the back. As I say, I don't think this thing goes quick enough. So we've got less than 1 kilo of rear downforce. I think I would take that. It's making front end lift, which is always going to be scary, but at 110 miles per hour, sorry, I think we could be doing a much scarier job of things. Yeah, so now it's doing 109.7, oh, 110.3. We have hit 110 miles per hour. It'll go to 0.4 if I raise the gearing. 12.9. The CVT is really overpowered though in this context. Because I'm sure the only reason it goes to 110 miles per hour is the CVT. And I don't know why, but the CVT is just overpowered in this game. Whatever you put it on gets so much faster because it's got a CVT. So, I mean, if nothing else saves it, I'm going to be sending 65% of the power to the back, which is as much as I can, because the wheel decided it needs all-wheel drive. The wheel decided a kind of heavy 1 litre, I would say sports car, 1 litre vehicle, 2-seater vehicle needs all-wheel drive. I would say it's going to be good off-road, not when it sits this low to the ground, but I like the sporty look, as dumb as it might be. It did suggest like a supercar body as well, and it makes it look more like a supercar if it's this low. So we have got, what else? The brakes I need to remember. The thing goes quite well. I could even try making the tyres even smaller, even narrower. Because honestly, they're 155s now, and if it still grips... Yeah, 12.9 with 145 width tyres. It starts losing speed if I go anywhere narrower than that, but still, at least the tyres are befitting of the power. Can make the front track a little wider because, why not? It doesn't really hurt to do that. So, 90, 95. I mean, it is quite a wide track now. Probably doesn't need to be this wide. Could probably make the rear a little narrower, actually. The push-rod front suspension and the double wishbone rear suspension and push-rod front. Yes, I was right the first time. I still wonder what could the law be behind such a vehicle even existing in the real world. These things still bewilder me. So does it help to have more power sent to the front? I wonder. I can have it a front bias, but on a rear engine car, that just sounds ridiculous. So we've got 13. The 0 to 60 is 13 here. If I go 140 width, is that as small as I can get and still get some speed? No, it's 145s. I think the original Mini had these tyres though. That's how little speed we're talking about. The fact that it's got some tyres probably similar to an original Mini Cooper S Sports compound 145 width cross plies. That is weird. Weird that this car, being as large as it is, would have that. And it's not by necessity either. You can make these tyres wider than they currently are. But it just doesn't help at all. So what else is there? There is ABS. So we've got, active wing and cooling flaps. I didn't ask for wheel before. I need to ask for wheel for those two things. So it'll be 1 and 2. The wheel decides whether we get these features or not. I think before it said no to both. So no active wing. If it says no to both, to be honest, it probably makes it easier on me. And it did. Okay, now I can pretend that was by design and the wheel totally told me to do it. It does love the number 1 though, so that's why it chose 1 over 2 tries in a row there. I mean, it did it before. I think one of the engine specs, it was like 1, 1, 1, 1. And it had like 2 or 3 options. Why would you choose 1 4 times in a row? I think I actually put it, you can't see it on the screen, but I put rigged above the wheel in the text where it lets you enter anything. I put rigged and a little like pair of arrows pointing downwards. Just for a little joke to myself. So these brakes, what have we got? If I check the braking performance, the good thing about narrow tyres, for reasons I can't understand in this game, maybe there's some logical reason, the tyres being super narrow, like the 145s in this case, make the brakes just work better for a smaller size. So 60.6, try making them larger, 44.2, I'll probably go with change with pad type once I know what it can do. 44.3. I think 75% pad type is not super race, but we can try and use that. So 44.3. 44.2. Can probably make these brakes actually smaller, even as dreadful as they are, being like drum SLS on both front and rear. So 44.3. Yeah, they're getting very small. And I don't think brake fade is an issue, actually. Surprisingly enough. So 46.9. 45.7. 44.3. So we're not going to have to have big brakes at all. 44.3, and the rear brakes are getting really small. 185 size, and they are drum SLS. So overall, the terrible brakes may be working out. 44.3. At least they're light if used properly, so I'm going to need to make these quite a bit bigger. 44.1. And I'll take 255mm front, 185 rear. They could have been asking a lot more than it had there. Okay, so what's the weight balance now? Had the brakes tweaked the weight balance at all? Yeah, 45.1 front. Slightly heavier front, but I don't think that's really going to make any conceivable difference. So we've got that. The top speed seems to have gone down. Not sure if that's the downforce. 109.0 now. It would do 0.1, but I have to try and make sure the gears are tight enough to achieve 12.9 0 to 60. Other gears, technically the one gear. At least now I can say it takes less than 13 seconds to 60, so it can somewhat compete with a modern city car. The mighty diesel Citroen will still beat it, though. Citroen from 11 years ago will beat it. That wasn't even a sports car when new. Yeah, it's 1497 now, so it is good enough to call it 1500 kilos, I think. Crazy thing is, it's not the heaviest I've built. The last vehicle was, I think, 1700. It also had 8 seats. Because, reasons. This has 2. All in all, it's not an awful car. Like, the thing is gonna move. I just feel it's not gonna be quick. It had better make up for it with cornering, though. Because if not cornering, what else does it have going for it? It was doing 110 miles per hour. So we've got, yeah, very little rear downforce and front end lift. Sounds dangerous. If only the thing actually made power, then it would be dangerous. I quite like the design. I kind of want to put a bonnet scoop on it, but that would just look off. It would look really off. I feel like, is this all it's going to need to be done? I do feel like I'm missing something, but I've done everything I can do to get this car to work. The suspension, that was it. The suspension needs finishing off. I haven't done that. It doesn't say it's bottoming out. That's interesting. I did lower it, but it doesn't say it's bottoming out. So we've got, the car tends to oversteer. But I think I can fix that. I think if I can make this rear suspension softer and still kind of get away with it. Now it's bottoming out because I made the rear suspension softer, but I can raise it ever so slightly and it fixes the issue. Just like 2-3mm or something. Not even a visible difference. The car tends to oversteer. Try changing the anti-roll bars. Makes it slightly less comfortable, but I think overall sportiness and drivability does improve by doing that, and it still tends to oversteer. More front stiffness, I guess, and now it's fixed it. I think I could probably make the dampers a little softer on the back to go with the springs. So, yeah, the dampers can be softened and that will be fine. I don't know if this is going to ride well at all. So, drivability got reduced when I made them softer, but comfort might have got better. Yeah, comfort got a lot better. Softening these dampers up a lot. I don't know, like, do I want it that much? I think any more than that probably sacrifices too much drivability. It's still comfortable with the dampers and springs set up this way. So, the sportiness and drivability now with a stiffer front anti-roll. It seems to like a lot of stiff front anti-roll, and I'm not going to complain about that. So we have got springs. I'll try and soften the front springs about as much as I can and then adjust it elsewise, because I want this car to somewhat have balance, but not to the point it's oversteering. I feel like there is a balance, though. Like, you don't want it to be too soft or too stiff. Gonna try softening these front dampers as well. Sportiness is low, but to be quite honest, I don't think it's really gonna hurt it, having a lower sportiness value in the reality of such. This car does not go quick at all. I mean, I said it's faster than... It's slower, rather, than a 14-year-old diesel Citroen. I don't think it's gonna really have speed as the main objective. I guess style more than speed. That's something. So you got 64.3, 22.7. So making that too stiff, it really hurts the not economy, the comfort. 64.2. I feel like somewhere around this. 63.9, 24.4. I think 2.0 is good for fun. This will probably drive really soft, I'll be honest. It'll probably drive really soft. The front and rear suspension are different technologies as well. I should really remember that. So maybe the dampers and such may be seeming a little off. They're not actually off. Can stiffen up the front anti-roll bars a lot. Like, it doesn't actually mind, even for comfort, it doesn't mind having stiffer front anti-roll bars, particularly. And with how everything is, if that stops this thing becoming an oversteering monster, having the front anti-roll stiffer, you would think it would affect comfort, but I'm sure this thing is just so soft anyway. I think 4800, that is very stiff. Could I make the front softer? So 63.7. Okay. I think that's good. Like, theoretically, I've got the same spring stiffness, front and rear. So 63.5. The damping is different and the anti-roll bars are different. I think I've got this better balanced than it really needs to be. Yeah, so try leaving that like that. I think that's going to be good. The car tends to oversteer. Can I fix that easy? Have I? Oh. I've not had it, like, selected so it actually glows. That was maybe dumb. I'm going to have to stiffen the front up then. I'm wasting so much time trying to sort the suspension out. Okay, the rear wide frequency is low. I can stiffen up the back a little. Just not to a point it really hurts. Actually, it did make the comfort better. That's interesting. But then the car tends to oversteer. So I kind of have to I have to have a lot of stiffness on the front. I can make the dampers softer, just not the springs. So this should be okay. I think the softer dampers are really going to carry this for comfort. There's a point at which the the comfort doesn't really get assisted by softer dampers. So there we go. Now it's very stiff on the front, but I think having slightly messed this up. Sportiness surprisingly enough benefits from having a limit on the front sway bar stiffness. The rear ride frequency is low. I think I might just have to make it taller. Does that fix it? The rear, that actually changed the oversteer, lowering it that much though. I have barely made this work. It's saying the engine has unutilized fuel octane. I mean, I did do that before and it did actually help it. Let's just see. Well, that's fixed it. It doesn't seem to have affected the engine at all, changing that one notch, but now it's also over 1,500 kilos somehow. Somehow it gained weight from nothing. So, does this want dampers changing there, I wonder? No, not for the stiffer at least. I feel like softer dampers can help. Yes, so I mean it's borderline oversteering, but it's borderline on the oversteering point, but it's not quite oversteering. And the sway bars. Yeah, it's almost oversteering, I feel, but I've somehow got this thing working. Have to double check the brakes. 44.2. If I get smaller brakes and the same performance, I will take that as a win. It's like one change there. One tiny change to the brakes and it oversteers. It's like virtually oversteering, but it isn't quite oversteering with this suspension setup. But it's right on the line. Although granted, the only thing it's complaining about now are the rear tyres being narrow. And with all-wheel drive, I don't think that's going to be an issue in the slightest, regardless of what it says. So we've got 109.1. Changing anything, even the gearing, just messes this up. Apparently. Yeah, I don't see much downside to that. Apparently it makes economy better if I have the gearing kick in a bit later, but still. I just realised it's got all-wheel drive and it's got vicious differentials, so that means front and rear vicious differentials, not rear. It's just so hard for me to wrap my head around this thing actually being all-wheel drive. But I will take it. And I think we should be ready to export now. I don't believe I've missed anything important. I do... Ah, I missed one thing, the name. I could call it Wheel Engine Hurty. For lack of a better term. Actually, I know. We'll power something or other because it has no power, so just for the irony of it. Wheel Power Monster. I don't know. Yes, this is called the Power Monster. Because obviously we've got a huge amount of horsepower. Let's see, just check what our exact horsepower is. So yeah, we've got an incredible 83.6 horsepower. It's a Wheel Power Monster. Much like the Mystery Party Wagon, because it shows Mystery Machine colours, so it had to be. I believe we can export this. I'll also save the car file, so it's there, because I put it on the Discord I have. So it's just free to mess with for anyone who wants to try and fix my mistakes. But I have to dig that car file up later. I think I can actually do it after... Oh, I can bring the folder up, I think. From within... within automation, which will make things easier. I do actually need to put the Mystery Party Wagon on there as well. The car file for that. I think it's done it. There's got to be a way of bringing it up, that's for sure. I'll find it eventually. I think I just exported to Beam again because I'm sure I did it, but at this point being sure isn't enough. I have to be extra sure. And then I can connect the Xbox controller because the wheel isn't in right now. That's all I got to use. It does take a while to export, which is interesting. I don't think it's more complicated than other cars I have built. So, just put that image up so I don't show everything on my Steam account or whatever. And then when Beam is up, I will remove the image. The avatars should be in front of the avatar. the avatar, so can do that. And I didn't even fully launch Beam. That's not great. There we go, Beam. I think we'll go to Refinery West Coast, where I took the picture from, should I say. So we'll get wherever it is. I'll just put power because it's there. Yeah, Wheel Power Monster. It does make some interesting vehicles. Apparently I've been going for 2 hours 40. So I can close the music. I can put that off when it's in the game. For now, though, I may have to turn the audio down on OBS because sometimes this stuff can be pretty loud. We'll have to see how it is. It's got 2 mufflers on it, so I don't know. They're not like highest end mufflers in the world, but they are mufflers. Before they have been pretty loud, but then they've not had a whole load of mufflers. Whichever one it was had like a straight through muffler, and it had then nothing for second muffler, so it wasn't, like, exactly going to be silenced. What this has for mufflers, maybe it'll make it too quiet, who knows? They're supposedly not, like, the most effective, but there is 2 of them. Currently, I'm just burning time while it's loading in the game. And there we go. So, let's see how the thing goes. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's any louder than the music. Can probably turn it up a little. I'd say it's definitely more hushed. I can hear it. Come on, CVT! Sounds so weird with a CVT. It also doesn't have a whole lot of grip, probably because of a tiny 145s. But then at the same time, not having grip just doesn't matter. Because it's just not moving. No kidding, it does actually handle really quite nicely. It's got this odd boaty feel. It feels like the automotive embodiment of a leaf blower with a muffler on the end. I think if I can find the, where's the bridge? If I can find where the bridge is that goes to the kind of mainland in this west coast. It's on the dirt, the all-wheel drive is truly helping it here. Still, it actually feels like a boat. Maybe it is. Maybe this is literally a boat and not a car. It's a boat that tried to become a car. Ow. I can smell PC hot noises. Hot smells. It's only started now. I don't know, maybe it's something else. Yeah, the thing drives like an absolute boat. I'll try and just fly to wherever the bridge is, because that should give us a chance to get at least close to the top speed of a thing. I think I see the bridge. There's also getting onto the bridge, which I think you do through here, yeah. So this, if I can find... And the other bridge that goes onto the bridge. There we are. Come on, the boat. $50? It just seemed to stop. Can we get to 60? Yeah, I can't like see this as being anything but a boat now that just happens to be driving on the road. Come on, you're doing 70. You're at the UK speed limit. You have passed the UK speed limit. It's taken a while, but you have finally got there. And it somehow feels a little unstable now, to be fair. It's always driven like a boat, but... We hit 90, and then now we have to slow down. It's actually surprisingly controllable for what it is. I don't think we're going to get that past 90, really, with any ease. At least it isn't overheating. The test vehicle I did, it actually overheated. So, overheated easily, so I had to go back into automation and ramp the cooling up to actually get that to drive, and then it understeered really badly. Other than the speed, I'm quite happy with this. Like, if it had a proper engine, it would actually be if it had a proper engine and decent tyres, this would be an incredibly good driving car. Unfortunately, as it stands, it's just too many issues. Now, we have appeared to get on the highway. The thing is not stable. Pretty sure another way the mighty Citroen beats it. It's surprisingly good on dirt, as I saw before. Yeah, I can just go across the dirt. It doesn't seem phased by it, really. So I can go across the dirt at that speed, and it's almost like it's on the tarmac. Let's do an initial de-gutter technique. Yes. The A86 is faster than this, though. Oof. That's kind of an underwhelming crash. Somehow the thing is still going. I guess it's because it's an automation car and they export really tough. Ow. So, this is the vehicle we have got. Just try and reset it to get a nice beauty shot of it. Can put the lights on as well. See how they go. I quite like that. Of all the cars I've built, I would definitely say it's the best looking of the three. But it is definitely also probably the worst. Like, technically, just because the engine it dealt me was not a good engine. So we'll bring out another couple of cars that we've made briefly, just to compare them and stuff visually. I think we have a little time to do that. Now the Real RS Frog Edition, this was like the first proper car it built, and I still like this. Like, it's actually fun. This is a 4x4 system, cross-ply tyres, but actual rally tyres, and it's got a V10, as I say, making just under 300 horsepower. Like, this thing is actually fun. Same basic suspension setup as the other, and I think even the basic chassis, and it's fiberglass body. So we've got here we've got the double wishbone rear suspension and the pushrod front suspension in a car that actually can take advantage of that technology. I think it's something like 1,400 kilos, so it's not that heavy either. Lightest of the three. I'd say of all the cars the Wheel has built, this is probably just generally the best of the three. It also has too many lights. Then we have this, which is... It's not good on the dirt. It's pretty good on the tarmac. This is the Mystery Party Wagon. This was when I started letting it choose the colours. It's got leaf springs on the back and McPherson struts on the front. So... It's also very noisy. Yeah. So, just give me a moment. That should work. So now I should be able to be heard. It's got leaf springs on the back and McPherson struts on the front. And I think it has the same kind of semi-space frame, which somehow they all ended up with a semi-space frame. It's transverse, front-wheel drive, and it has a V12, as I'm sure you can hear. Just under 200 horsepower on this one. And then we arrive to the latest one, where it makes like 84 horsepower. I mean, as I say, of the lot, I would say easily, if I just put the parking brake on this so it doesn't roll away, of the lot, the third one here, I would say is easily the best looking of the three. This is probably the best driving of the three. And this is neither, but it's not a bad middle point. So yeah, I can say at least at the end of it all, I've built a good looking car. Anyway, this will be it for now. I'll probably do another one of these streams someday, but I've got to do Project Eva at the weekend. So, very different game, but the mods are so much fun on that game. So, I'll be calling it the end of the stream today, just under 3 hours actually. And I'll say goodbye until another day.